Our brains allow us to process the world, understand everything around us, learn new things, and paradoxically, we're still very unaware of how much our own brains function. However, modern neuroscience and cognitive sciences have made great strides in understanding the effect our brains have on our everyday functions. With that comes a wealth of knowledge and a variety of facts you probably don't know about the brain. But don't worry, our video will fix it. Enjoy! Lack of oxygen in the brain for 5 to 10 minutes results in permanent brain damage. Your brain keeps developing until your late 40s. New brain connections are created every time you form a memory. Your brain uses 20% of the total oxygen and blood in your body. There's a virus that attacks human DNA, making people less intelligent, impairing brain activity, learning, and memory. When awake, the human brain produces enough electricity to power a small light bulb. Violent homes have the same effect on children's brains as combat on soldiers. It is scientifically proven that even a small dose of power changes how a person's brain operates and diminishes empathy. You have taste receptors in the stomach, intestines, pancreas, lungs, anus, testicles, and the brain. The pathologist who conducted Einstein's body autopsy stole his brain and kept it in a jar for 20 years. The human brain has the same consistency as tofu. The smell of chocolate increases theta brainwaves, which triggers relaxation. The brain releases so much dopamine during orgasms that a brain scan resembles that of someone on heroin. Forgetting is good for the brain. Deleting unnecessary information helps the nervous system retain its plasticity. Alcohol doesn't make you forget anything. When you get blackout drunk, the brain temporarily loses the ability to create memories. Sphenopalatine ganglioneuralgia is the scientific term for a brain freeze. There is no left brain, right brain divide. It's a myth. They work together. Long-term mobile phone use significantly increases the risk of brain tumors. Sleep deprivation affects the brain in multiple ways that can impair judgment and slow reaction. The brain treats rejection like physical pain, according to scientists. It only takes 6 minutes for brain cells to react to alcohol. When you learn something new, the structure of your brain changes. Male brains, on average, have a total volume that is between 8% and 13% larger than that of females. By 2023, the average US $1,000 laptop will be just as fast as the human brain, according to Ray Kurzweil. Music triggers activity in the same brain structure that releases the pleasure chemical dopamine during sex and eating. Due to the new discovery of many brain parasites, scientists now think a zombie apocalypse is actually possible. The feeling of certainty can be triggered without the need for facts or reasoning, using electric stimulation over a specific part of the brain. We have more brain cells as a newborn baby than we will ever have again. Half of your genes describe the complex design of your brain, with the other half describing the organization of the other 98% of your body. A baby's brain can use up to 50% of the total glucose supply, which may help explain why babies need so much sleep. In 2015, the fourth most powerful supercomputer in the world took 40 minutes to stimulate just 1 second of human brain activity. The human brain is composed of about 100 billion neurons, plus a trillion glial cells. At rest, your brain uses 1/5 of a calorie per minute. There are virtually no differences in brain anatomy between people with autism and those without. You have about 70,000 thoughts a day. Half our brains can be removed by surgery with no apparent effect on personality or memory. There is no such thing as a male brain or a female brain. All have an unpredictable mishmash of male-like and female-like features. Recovering from a breakup is like kicking an addiction to a drug, researchers found from looking at the brain scans of the brokenhearted. Research on naps, meditation, and nature walks reveals that mental breaks increase productivity, replenish attention, solidify memories, and encourage creativity. Researchers found that when jazz musicians improvise, their brains turn off areas linked to self-censoring and inhibition, and turn on those that let self-expression flow. Human beings have as many brain cells in their stomachs as cats have in their brains. Brain age decreases by 0.95 years for each year of education, and by 0.58 years for every daily flight of stairs climbed. The brain can't actually feel pain, despite its billions of neurons. We can't remember much of our first few years because the hippocampus wasn't developed enough to build a rich memory of an event. Human brains are 10% smaller than they were 20,000 years ago. The human brain has enough memory to hold 3 million hours of television. Humans spend 13% of their lives not focusing on anything in particular. It takes about 0.2 seconds for your brain to understand the light that reaches your eye. A woman's hippocampus, central to memories, mood, and emotions, grows in sync with estrogen levels as she goes through her menstrual cycle. Breastfeeding actually changes the way a mother's brain works, making her more attuned to the child's crying. According to a study, our brain's cognitive decline starts at age 24. A scan of Sting's brain found that composing music activates different parts of the brain than writing poetry or creating art. To your brain, one sleepless night is the cognitive equivalent of being legally drunk. 35 years after leaving school, the majority of people can still identify 90% of their classmates. The average intelligence of humans has risen 20 IQ points since 1950, a study found. Lack of sleep may shrink your brain. Research shows that people can handle 2 tasks at a time, but they make 3 times as many errors when a 3rd task is added. Brain scans taken during a study showed that listening to poems activated parts of participants' brains that are not activated when listening to music or watching films. When looking at a crowd, we can only recognize 2 faces at a time. To understand a pun, your brain's right and left hemispheres have to work together due to the unique structure of the joke. The average English speaker has about 50,000 words in their mind and finds the right one in 600 milliseconds. While studying brain scans to search for patterns that correlated with psychopathic behavior, neuroscientist James Fallon found that his own brain fit the profile. Even a short, one-time burst of exercise can boost parts of the brain responsible for executive function, such as decision-making and focus, a research paper found. A study using MRI scans showed that the brains of people who exercise moderately look 10 years younger than those who don't. Thank you for watching. Like our video and subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to tell us everything you think in the comments below. See you beyond the reflection line.